Explain like I'm 5 why are Homo sapiens the only living species of humans? In short, no one is 100% certain. However, there are two basic assumptions. 1. We killed them off. 2. Homo sapiens bred with other human species. It's likely a combination of the two. Other human DNA, like the Neanderthals, can still be found in our DNA today. TLDR, we really don't know, it's all theories. If interbreeding with Neanderthal was possible, why would we consider then a separate species? Isn't the definition of a separate species the inability to produce viable offspring? Neanderthal interbred with humans. They did not become extinct so much as they became fully integrated into what is now Homo sapiens. As for other human species, many scientists believe that they were simply unable to adapt to changes in climate. Homo florensiensis from Java went extinct about 50 kr, likely as a result of volcanic activity. Probably our propensity to sex and violence. There is a fair bit of Neanderthal DNA in modern humans. Especially Europeans, straight hair being one trait we get from them. Evidence from stone tools suggests Neanderthals didn't progress beyond basic tools. No one knows why. Their brains were bigger than those of modern humans. But size isn't everything apparently. I can totally see that any resource crunch such as a drought, modern humans would have turned their spears against the Neanderthals. I recommend Sapiens: A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. That's a book that could possibly change your view of the human species overall. How we developed and why are we living the way we are now. We murder the shit out of each other because of the color of our skin. Can you imagine the wars that would be fought if there were two species of humans? Going on our track record, I'd have to say it's because we killed off the competition. Look at how violent we have always been and can still be towards outsiders. Those from another team, town, region, country or race. And they look pretty much the same as we do. Now imagine if those others also looked quite different to us. To the point where we could easily class them as animals or vermin or monsters and they compete with us for the same resources. I think relentless eradication is what happened to the other homos. Not to say they weren't trying to do the same thing. Nature is brutal. We banged the other types out of existence and now we're all tiny part Neanderthal and Denisovan. Because we killed or screwed all the other ones out of existence. You need to read Sapiens. Such an amazing book. Be ready though. It's like taking a college course, lol. It's not for everyone. Because Homo sapiens outcompeted them. We either killed them directly, wiped out their food sources, or simply did a better job of adapting to changing conditions when the last ice age ended and outbred them. And to some extent, interbred with them what remains of H.S. Neanderthalensis, for example, is part of the H. Sapiens gene pool. Now some non-African humans have genomes that are up to 4 Neanderthal genes. Homo sapien, big brain sapien. Make sharper stick. Throw harder rock. Make bigger fire. Eat all pigs. No more pigs for small brain sapien, more pigs for big brain sapien. When big cold comes, big brain sapien hide food like rodent and make tiny fire like small brain sapien, but instead better like big brain sapien. Is Giga Chad basically what a modern-day Neanderthal would look like? This was years ago that an anthropology professor told us this. Currently right now there is two species of humans. Homo sapiens and Homo sapien sapiens. The technicalities of it is that species are separated into subspecies based on dental evolutionary traits. There are now people being born regularly without wisdom teeth. These no wisdom teeth people are the Homo sapiens. Are we sure they are? You've seen Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? We killed off some of them. And others couldn't adapt well enough to changing climate. The Ice Age probably did a bunch of the chunkier, more muscled ones in. Too much metabolism in a food-scarce environment. My understanding is that apart from killing them off, we had a faster breeding cycle, meaning that there were more of us presumably to kill them off. A lot of answers I see here are along the lines of what we currently think no. I'd also recommend the book Sapiens. The first couple chapters are specifically about this topic. A big thing is that we think of ourselves as so special. We aren't that distantly related from other primates. We just really want to be special. If there was two types of ants that were separate by less than 1 million years, we wouldn't think of anything of it. But we are the most special little guys, so we play up how super far we are. It could also be that they lived in smaller groups or less reachable areas so that it was harder for them to come across other groups very often to share life-saving ideas, inventions, tools, medicine. Just having a larger population means you have more brains available for innovation and sharing of ideas within that group. Coming across another group gives even more rises for idea sharing. Something as simple as a needle to make good withstanding clothes in cold weather could be that an entire generation of babies or even the entire group dies. Is really luck. I read somewhere that at one point, around 70k years ago, there were only 40 breeding pairs left in the world. I'm seeing a lot of good answers, but something else that could be added to any of the top things here is that there was an enormous Ice Age event very early on that left very few vaguely human-shaped ancestors, which might have helped with killing Neanderthals and other potential species. TLDR, we don't know. What we do know for sure is that we did get benefits from other hominids by interbreeding. And they did get some from us too. Edit, because I wrote this part on a rush. We assume we had better adaptations and more population success. Thing with we assuming those adaptations is that while some definitely help, it feels like we're missing something. For example, Homo naledi for example had a mix of very old bone adaptations and was doing just fine, much more recent than anyone could expect. I've read that it's likely a combo of extermination, outcompeting, and perhaps their inability to adapt quickly enough. We killed them all, either through direct conflict or just taking all the food and letting them starve. Evolution is pretty brutal, but that's how it works. Just like people claim race is human-derived construct, so is Homo sapiens. The reality is that Homo sapiens are defined to be all modern humans. Another classification could have been championed that would have been more akin to races. Look at the difference between Homo sapiens and Homo erectus. The differences are arbitrary at some level, and such classification could be applied to different groups of modern humans. Doing so isn't done for obvious reasons though. Because the other species of humans unguard when they should are bungered. Also, natural selection and interbreeding.